Hello again. I wanted to show another video. Um, and I guess I'll get into the reason why later, but it's going to be about mapping out Phandalin. So, in the, what's it called? Lost Mine of Phandelver, they give you this map of Phandalin inside the book, and that's all you got. Now, with the Essentials Kit, the Dragon of Icespire Peak, they do give you this kind of larger map, which is a good reference for players, but we didn't have that when I started, but I wanted some kind of visual reference point that my players could use, and I did print out a picture, but this is kind of hard for people to see when we're playing at the table. So what I had actually done, and pardon the mess in my own little dungeon here, was that I had used pieces of A Christmas Village. And I try to get stuff in generally the right position, but I didn't worry about it too much. I'm going to use my stick of pointing here. So roughly, we had the Eatermath Orchard, Sister Gorelli's home where the Shrine of Luck would be, the town square, Barthen's Provisions, and Barthen's home. I didn't put in a specific building for the smithy, even though it's labeled on the map, but we used empty dice boxes and things like that to kind of add some other buildings as we were playing. They're just not still here. Big building in the middle is the Stone Hall Inn, of course. Coming down the road, the Sleeping Giant, Trezendar Manor at the end of the road, the Alderleaf Farm here in the corner. Here we've got the Townmaster's Hall and Harbin Wester's home. Here we've got, I forget which one is which. One of these is I think this is the Lion Shield Coster and the Phandalin Miners Exchange. And then Lenine Greywind and Halia Thornton's houses. I believe I've gotten those correct. I tend to confuse those two characters. And a woodcarver. I think I probably said that the smithy and the woodcarver may have both been the same building. But this is what we used, kind of for reference. This is a 1-inch grid. It's just dry erase board. So we would put our characters roughly around where they were if we were doing role-playing in Phandalin. And we don't play here anymore. That's why it's so much of a mess now. This is my basement, which is why it's so dungeony. But I did a summer game here, but now we play it. I teach at a school, so we play at the school. So this doesn't get used much anymore. But the reason I'm making this video is that I love maps. I love buying maps, and I love making maps. And I've posted some pictures of some maps that I've been making lately of different locations. And the biggest scale that I've made is Thunder Tree. I made pretty much a 2-scale map of Thunder Tree. But that just takes a lot of time and it's massive. And I was looking into the possibility of making a map of Phandalin. But it's just so big. So I had kind of put it out of my head. But today, I got in the mail the Tactical Maps Reincarnated. And I realized that with kind of combining them with other maps that I have amassed, I could make a somewhat playable version of Phandalin. Now, obviously, this isn't exact. This isn't to scale. This isn't what it was intended to be. But I kind of want to walk through what I've got here. And hopefully, I can keep everything straight. I'm going to go more or less in the same general order. We've got the Eatermath Orchard up in the corner. We've got some rows of crops and stuff. So this seemed like a nice orchard to me. Here we've got a decrepit old town. Ignore the fact that there's differing seasons and terrain in them. You know, it's all about the imagination. So here we've got this road into town from the woods. So this to me seems like a good place to put Barthen's Provisions and Barthen's home. You got this area back here where the wagons can be stored. Might have to ignore that statue though. And any of these buildings could be the smithy or anything else. These are all, none of these are specified. These are all just random buildings. I know there's no pond on the map, but what are you going to do? I got a pond on my map. If we work our way up, I have made a map of the Red Brand hideout, but it's not here. It's at the school. But it would go in this position at the end of town under Trezendar Manor. And I don't really have anything great for the Alderleaf farm. I threw on a woods map just because I had it. But really, if I really wanted to do this as close to correct as I could, I would just put my mini battle mat there, because that's kind of earth colored. So that could be, you know, the wheat fields or whatever. But that's also at the school. Both my mini and my large mega mat are at the school. So just imagine that that's a battle mat. So if we come down the road, here we've got what I would use for the Townmaster's Hall, because we've got this big meeting room here. And Harbin's Wester's house could be any of these nearby locations. That might be kind of small, that might be kind of big, either one. This building does look like an inn, but I'm not specifying it as anything. I would actually have the Sleeping Giant be here, because this looks more like a bar to me. Technically, it's supposed to be on that side of the street, but hey, we're using our imagination. So we've got another inn. We've got the Sleeping Giant, the Stonehill Inn. That's the big one. That's the biggest building that I have a map of, other than a castle or a church or something like that. So that is my Stonehill Inn. Here would be Sister Gorelli's house, and then there's a statue here, so that could be the Shrine of Luck, and the town square. There's a town green listed on the map, so if this green isn't enough, I do have some more woods that I've stuck over there. And then the last ones that, again, I tend to mix up, the Lion Shield Coster and Lenine Greywinds. I might have that confused, but the Lion Shield Coster, Lenine Greywinds house, and, you know, any of these could be the Phandalin Miners Exchange and Holly Thornton's house. The wood carver could be over here. So, is it ridiculous? Absolutely. Is it practical? Absolutely not. But, even though it's not to scale, even though it's not official, I could, if I really wanted to, put together a somewhat playable 2-scale map of Phandalin. And I'm a big nerd, so I think that that's pretty cool. Hopefully this was interesting to watch, if not silly. If you guys are interested where I got any of these maps from, I can talk about that. These 4 that all just came in today are from the Tactical Maps Reimagined, and most of the rest of these are from a monthly subscription box called Dungeon in a Box. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one are all from there. And then this is just a woods map that I've picked up. I don't remember who makes it. But yeah, if you want more details, all of these are double-sided, of course. But we don't want to use the other sides. And I do have some of the quote-unquote official tiles, city tiles, that look kind of like this texture. So if I really wanted to, you know, even things out or shift some stuff and fill in the gaps, I could do that with that stuff.